Welcome, students! Today we're going to explore a very touching story called The Lost Child, written by the famous Indian author, Mulk Raj Anand. Now, this story is a beautiful look into a child's mind, and it helps us understand the really deep bond between a child and his parents. It teaches us a very, very important lesson about our emotions and what we truly value in life. So let's begin.
All right, here's our plan for today's lesson. First, we'll start by introducing the story and its main character. Then, we'll explore the fair and see all the things the child wants. After that, we'll get to that crucial moment when he gets lost. We'll find out what he truly desires. And finally, we'll wrap up by understanding the theme, and I'll give you some useful tips for your exams.
So first things first, let's set the scene and try to understand the world of our main character, this little child.
Okay, so the story is set during the beautiful festival of spring. I want you to imagine a village fair. You know, a place that's just full of colorful stalls, happy people, all sorts of exciting sounds, and wonderful things to see. For this little boy who is just full of life and laughter, this fair is like a magical place, a place of pure excitement and wonder.
Now, the child's character is really the heart of our story. He's innocent and he's filled with curiosity about everything he sees. You'll notice how he's emotionally dependent on his parents. Their presence is what makes him feel completely safe and happy. He's also a very obedient child, and he's always aware of what his parents expect from him. He kind of knows that they might just say no to his demands.
Right, so let's watch how the child reacts to all the different temptations at the fair. We're going to see a very interesting pattern start to develop in his behavior.
The very first thing that catches his eye is a sweetmeat seller's shop, and his mouth just waters for his favorite sweet, the burvi. He wants it so much, and he murmurs his desire very, very softly.
But look what happens next. Even though he wants that sweet so badly, he doesn't even wait for them to answer. He just knows what his parents would say, that he's being greedy. So what does he do? He controls his desire and simply moves on.
A little further on, he sees a flower seller with these beautiful garlands of gulmohar. He's just irresistibly drawn to them, and he whispers his wish to have one.
And again, just like before, he doesn't insist. He already knows the reason his parents would give for saying no, that the flowers are cheap. So he just holds back his request and keeps on walking.
So you see, a very clear pattern is emerging. First, he sees something attractive, like the colorful balloons or the snake charmer's music, and he feels this really strong desire for it. But then, he just knows his parents will refuse, and he even knows the exact reason they will give. So he pushes down his own desire and just moves on without any complaining. This tells us so much, doesn't it? It shows how obedient he is, but also how deeply he understands his parents.
Let's move on to the most critical turning point in the whole story. This is the moment where everything, absolutely everything, is about to change for this child.
As he's watching the roundabout, with all the men, women, and children laughing and whirling in motion, he just can't resist it anymore. For the first and only time, he gathers all his courage and makes a bold, direct request. He actually asks his parents, "I want to go on the roundabout, please, father, mother." He waits. But there's no reply. The silence is really heavy. He turns to look at his parents, maybe expecting their usual refusal, but they're not there. He looks to his left, he looks to his right, he looks behind him. They are nowhere to be seen. And in that one moment, the cheerful, exciting fair suddenly becomes a very frightening and confusing place. He is all alone. A deep cry of real fear just comes out of his throat. Panic starts to set in. He begins running here and there, just crying continuously, "Mother, father." His only thought, his only need now, is to find the parents who were his entire world, his source of safety just a few moments ago. Now, in this state of total desperation and fear, the child's true and most important need is finally revealed to all of us.
As he is crying in the crowd near a temple, a kind man finds him and rescues him. He lifts the little boy up in his arms and, seeing how upset he is, he tries to help. And how does he try to comfort him? By offering him the very same things that the child had wanted earlier.
Now, just notice this complete change in his perspective. Before he was lost, the fair was full of things he wanted, right? The sweets, the flowers, the balloons, the roundabout. But after he gets lost, none of those things matter anymore. His one and only desire is for his parents.
The kind man takes him to the roundabout, to the snake charmer, the balloons, the flowers, and even to the sweet shop. He offers him everything. But the child, he just refuses it all. He turns his face away and only shouts one thing, again and again and again. I want my mother. I want my father.
And this part of the story so brilliantly illustrates the main point. The colors, the sounds, the sweets of the fair, they've lost all their charm for him. And why is that? Well, it's because without the emotional security that his parents provided, all these material things have absolutely no value to him. They were only attractive when he felt safe and secure with his mother and father.
So, the most crucial thing for us is to understand the powerful message that the author, Mulk Raj Anand, wants to give us. Let's finish up by looking at the main theme and some tips that will definitely help you in your exams. This right here is the central idea. It's the heart of the entire story. The bond of love and the feeling of safety that parents give are priceless. They are so much more important to a child than any toy, any sweet, or any worldly pleasure.
Okay, so when you are answering questions in your exam, try to remember to focus on these key points. Compare the child's happiness when he was with his parents to his complete panic when he was alone. Explain that he refused all those nice offers from the kind man because his greatest need wasn't for things, it was for his parents. The title, The Lost Child, is just perfect because the whole story is about this experience of being lost. And finally, always connect your answer back to the main message about how important parental love and security are.
And that leaves us with a final thought to think about. You know, the story doesn't tell us if the child finds his parents. This is what we call an open ending. So why do you think the author did this? Well, perhaps by leaving us with the child's desperate cries, the story's emotional impact becomes much, much stronger. It makes us truly feel the child's pain and really understand the value of his parents. It's definitely something for all of us to think about, isn't it?